Hi, this is David Saville. Now, I was commenting on a post in Pony Express, and Anik asked me about to share something about spears, which is a metaphor that I use for my life. And we were talking about confidence, and we were debating about the need for confidence. And they were saying that there's certain things you can do to create confidence so that you can do the public speaking. And my take on it is you don't need confidence. Confidence is a mental construct. Confidence is an idea. You look at someone doing something well and looking like they're powerful and they're in flow, and you go, they're confident. And then you go, right, that's what they are, so I need to become that. Right, I'm gonna grab this thing called confidence, and then I'll be able to do that. But it doesn't work that way. Confidence really is just a lack of self-doubt. In fact, if you think about it, when you're not confident, you're thinking, can I do this? Am I good enough? Will they like me? That kind of stuff. Where's the focus there? It's all on I, it's all on me. So what I suggest is going beyond the self. You need to be focused out here on what you're doing and who you're doing it and why you're doing it. It's why it's hard to create confidence doing something that you're not passionate about, because you're gonna give up. It's not gonna be juicy enough and passionate enough for you to keep going. Now, when you've got something you're passionate about, you care about it, and you really want to do it, then the best way to not need confidence and just to go for it is to walk a path of vulnerability. And this means to give people permission to criticize you, to give yourself permission to make mistakes, to screw up, to fail again and again and again. And when you do that, that's how you create the success that you want. You just keep going. And the metaphor I love to use for this is, it's like you're walking this rocky road, right? Nobody's been down this path. This is your path that you've just come across. You've got your machete, you're hacking away at the foliage, and you're climbing over rocks to walk there. So this is what you're doing. Now, while you're doing that, there are people all at the side. Those are the well-trodden paths that everyone else does, and they're looking at you, thinking, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And they're throwing spears at you, and every now and then one cuts deep, and you start to bleed. And so what you do is you go and run behind a rock, and you're like, and you pull it out, and you let yourself heal. And then you get strong enough, and you're like, right, step back out again, and you start walking that path. And then again, of course, someone throws another spear at you, maybe one in the back this time. You pull that out, run behind the rock again, and you heal. This goes on and on and on. Now, what generally happens for most people, like it used to do for me for years, is that as it gets harder and harder to step out from behind that rock. Why? Because you know what's coming. You know you're going to be hurt, and that's it's a scary thing. And the more you've held back from doing that, the bigger it becomes. And so what most people do is they see the more trodden path over there, and they go fuck this, I'm going there. And then what they do is they walk that path, and they end up blending into the crowd and going where everyone else goes. So now, but the thing is, when you do that, they give up. This is why most entrepreneurs fail in the first year, right? And they just go back to a job. This is why coaches, right? I'm a coach. Most coaches will fail. They will never be successful. Why? Because they will not keep getting cut. Now, if you want to be successful, you want to achieve something, you want to contribute something or do something great, you have to be willing to walk that path and get cut. So you're walking along. The spear comes in, but you don't run behind the rock. You just keep walking, you keep bleeding, you keep feeling that pain, and you keep walking forwards anyway. It's hard. You may have many spears in you at any one time as people criticize you as you screw up, as you just feel fucking awful because you don't think you're ever going to get there, but you've got to keep going anyway because you're that passionate and you care that much about what you're doing. And as you do that, gradually, you heal as you're walking. Your skin gets a bit thicker, and the spears get smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually they're just like toothpicks, and it can no longer cause you that deep pain anymore. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, because it does. Believe me, there's always something new that can hurt. But by this point, you're resilient. You know that no matter, you're now determined. You're like the fucking Terminator. Nothing is going to stop you from getting what you want, for going for what you want, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fail. So that is why you do not need confidence. You just need to be willing to continue making mistakes, screwing up, and people thinking all kinds of things about you, people not liking you, people thinking you're talking shit. Just like you watching this, you may think this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I welcome you to do that, but I also welcome you to actually try and experiment with this. Test it. Don't believe it. Test it out for yourself and see what difference it can make. So Anik, I hope that's good for you and good for anyone who watches this. So if you've got any questions about it, you can find me. David Saville on Facebook, so Saville. Take care for now.